In this video, I'm going to talk you through if you should sell a product-based or a service-based business, and talk you through the different things that you should maybe think about, which can help you evaluate and come to your decision. There is really nothing stopping you from selling both product-based and service-based business within your business. So you may not exactly need to choose, but if you want to try and evaluate and understand exactly what will be better, then this is the video for you. So firstly, looking at the product-based business, you want to think about durability, lightweight, and also non-perishable. So these are really good products to get into. So let's talk about durability first. When you're thinking about shipping your product from one end to the other, even if you're drop shipping, and I'm assuming hopefully you're not drop shipping, but think about the durability of that product. Can it break? Can it be delivered from one country to another without it actually being damaged? Because what you need to think about, if a product is not durable, then how can you protect that product to be able to ship it? This is exactly what is very important within e-commerce, and you want to think about how lightweight it is as well. Something that is lightweight will take a lot more to ship. So what you don't want to do is be shipping bricks, for example. And obviously that is not something that you'll probably think about, but think about something, the more lightweight it is, the cheaper it is for you to ship. And what is a great advantage for your company is that if you start offering free shipping, that will definitely be a USP that you can start getting customers on board, and it will be a may actually get a consumer to shift from a brand that they trust to a brand new brand or a brand that they don't know. So this is something, and this is a good strategy to use when you're thinking about shipping your product. Can you offer your product for free shipping, and how can you offer it without actually putting a lot of cost on your product? What you can do is try and shift the price of your product up by how much it is to ship, and actually just place it as free shipping, and the cost of the product is actually sitting in your product and not within your shipping. Another criteria you want to think about is non-perishable. So perishable means something that will go out of date very quickly. For example, food. In supermarkets, obviously there are different tools, and supermarket does do online shopping, etc. But if you're trying to build an e-commerce business and you want to sell a product, you really want to think about the shelf life of your product and what you can do to extend it. So the longer your shelf life of your products, the less risk that you have in stocking inventory and keeping a hold of that, because you have a longer time to sell it. If you're stocking a lot of perishable products, then you need to be able to ship and sell very quickly. So for example, if you're doing a bakery e-commerce business, you very want to be making sure that you have very low inventory, and that your inventory and your stock is made to order or fresh. So I've talked about durability, it being lightweight, and also it being non-perishable. I also want to talk about obviously the shipping, which I've lightly mentioned, and I also want to talk about the manufacturing and design phase of your product. So you really want to think about who will manufacture your product and who will design your products. This is because at the beginning you may want to have a couple of different iterations, different prototypes, to be able to refine exactly what your product is from the design phase to the actual go-to-market phase. And when you're designing a product and creating a prototype, you definitely want to push that out into the market as quickly as possible to understand your market reaction and what the consumers are thinking about your market, to give you active feedback on how to improve. Things to think about is what features are working and what features aren't working. Other things you should think about is, if you're thinking about creating a service business, you really want to think about these particular criterias. So if you're offering a service business, you want to initially think about the time, because in a service business, if you're coaching or if you're offering the service, or if you have coaches or have people under you that are offering that particular service, you really want to think about how much time does it take to get someone from A to B. So within that journey that you're trying to get someone from A to B, for example, something very simple, if you're helping someone sell a house and you're helping someone sell a house online, you want to think about, okay, when they're selling their house, what is it that I need to speak to them about? What kind of information that they need? What kind of touch points do they need to understand exactly, to go through this process with ease? How is it that I can position myself as an expert to help them get from A to B? You may think that if you're starting a service business, that your cost is very minimal, and yes, your cost may seem minimal. You don't need to pay anyone for design, you don't need to manufacture it and it be costly, but you have to think about your time, the time that you're putting in to creating your business and to create that service. How are you measuring that? Because your time can be spent kind of earning something else, so you need to have that as a trade-off. So that is actually your cost. Even if you think, yes, it's free and I'm doing it in my spare time, there is a cost associated with it, because you can be using that time in another way to earn money. So even if you put yourself as, I don't know, £30 or $30 per hour, for example, or $100 per hour, you actually have a way of financially measuring your time and your effort. Another thing you want to think about is your scalability. So if you're offering a service, how can you scale it in the short run and in the long run? So that's something that you need to think about. For example, if you're doing a one-to-one coaching session, which is fantastic, how can you move it from one-to-one to one-to-many? This is just one example of what you can do to then start scaling your business if it's a service business. But a lot of things and a lot of interactions, what people actually genuinely want is actually that one-to-one interaction to make it more personalized. So if you are doing one-to-one, considering actually charging a high premium for this. This is because you really don't want to be stuck in that one-to-one model. Your time is limited and you can only take on so many clients within a month, within a year. So you want to be able to reach out to the masses. How is it, or what is it that you can do to be able to deliver that value of what you're doing, but in a multiple model? The last thing you really want to think about is who, how, and when. So this is who will deliver it, how will you deliver it, and when will you deliver it. So who, how, and when can help you actually decide, okay, even if you have coaches under you or you have people working for you, who is it that's going to deliver the service? Is it you? Is it someone else? How is it going to be delivered? What kind of platforms are you going to use? What kind of media are you going to use? And once you've thought about that, you really want to think about when you're going to deliver it. So if you yourself are going to deliver it, is it going to be in the mornings, evenings, time slots? And is it going to be in live formats, recorded formats? So definitely think about the how. The last two bonus things that you really want to think about, which applies to both your product and your service business. So number one is your competition and your substitutes. So definitely research what is existing out there, which will give you a very good clear indicator of what you can actually create and what you can make. What is it that people are doing that may not be exactly fulfilling the customer need, and what is it that you can be doing that's completely different? What this will create for you is that you'll be something different in the market and you'll be special. So try not to do a copycat where you're replicating something exactly, because you're not actually delivering value. And what you're trying to do is be one step behind someone else. When you're copying someone, why do you want to position your business as one step behind someone else? Because yes, okay, they may be earning money from it, and you may be getting that piece of that pie, but you very want to be actually forward thinking and be one step in front of everyone else than one step behind everyone else. You know what I mean? The second thing that you really want to think about is when you won't really consider this maybe at the beginning stages of building your product or your business, but you really should consider this, because this will kind of help you mitigate the risk of planning your revenue and your profit streams. So one thing you really want to think about is refunds. And I guess this is something that no one really talks about, but if you look at product statistics, about 15 to 20% of people actually refund your products. So you really want to think about the back end of what you're doing in terms of, okay, if a customer is asking for a refund, what's that process look like? Do I have enough cash stored away to be able to pay them back? And why is it that people are refunding? So if people are refunding, you want to think about, okay, what is it that I can do to make the product better or the service better to stop them from wanting their money back? Was it something that I made that was unclear in terms of the sales process or the pre-sales, that they thought the product would be doing something or fulfilling a need that they actually wanted, but your product didn't actually fulfill that? So a good way to do that is trying to get customer feedback. But if a customer is already wanting a refund, then this means that there is something very questionable about what's happening with your product and the interaction that the customer is facing. So this is something you need to think about and plan for. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this video has helped you get clear on if you want to start a product-based business or a service-based business, or both, the type of things that you want to consider when you're going through that evaluation. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.